Santino, it's safe to say that Philippine boxing had a great 2021 despite the fact that Manny Pacquiao, the longtime poster boy of the industry, decided to call it a career this year to pursue a much higher office in the political arena. While many believe that Philippine boxing was headed to dormancy due to Pacquiao's sudden retirement, the new collective consisted of John Riel Casimero, Nonito Donaire, Jerwin Ancahas, and others were able to prove that Philippine boxing is in good hands. Aside from its current champions, many Pinoy boxers are joining the campaign to help hold the fort for the scene or the Philippine boxing scene, with some of them moving from boxers to up and coming boxers to contender status. So tonight on Round by Round, we'll look at the list of 4 Filipino boxers who could vie for a world title in 2022. First on our list, Mark Magnifico Magsayo. Santino, do you feel that he is ready to face the likes of Gary Russell Jr. for a world title, or would you rather see him take a couple of fights to prepare him for the elite level of competition?
Actually, in my opinion, I think si Mark has been ready for a while. I know other people would say otherwise, pero para sa akin kasi, si Mark Magsayo is a type of fighter na he will always look a little bit sloppy. He will always look a little kumbaga green. Pero somehow he finds a way to pull it out. He was able to do that against Chris Avalos. He was able to do that against Chris Avalos back in Cebu a couple of years ago. Got dropped early, came back I think in the 6th round to win. Since heading to the States, setting up camp there, he's been very impressive naman. Still undefeated in 23 career fights, back-to-back TKO victories this year. And yun nga, he was tapped as the mandatory challenger to Gary Russell for the WBC title. I believe he can pull it off. I've always been very high on Mark Magsayo. He has the deadly combination of speed and knockout power. And I think he can pose a very, very serious threat to Gary Russell next year.
Next on our list is Magic Mike Plana. Santino, Plana is number 4 in the WBO, number 9 in the IBF, number 15 in the WBC, and number 5 in the WBA. Apat na organization yun. It's already a dead giveaway that Plana could land a title shot next year.
Yun nga, tulad na sabi mo, si Plana lang among these 4 guys. Si Plana lang ang nakikita mong rank among all the major promotions. Undefeated since 2018, 11 fight winning streak. He's coming off a TKO win over si Ricardo Nunes just last month. And very impressive ang pinapakita ni Mike Plana as of late. Para sa akin, one more big win for Plana in his next fight. I wouldn't be surprised kung maging title challenger na siya by mid-2022. Kasi sabi mo, mataas ang ranking niya sa WBA at sa WBO. So it wouldn't be a surprise to see him if he can get one more big win in his next bout. I'm guessing he's going to be drawing a bigger name, a bigger rank or a higher ranked opponent. If he can get an impressive win there, I wouldn't be surprised to see him challenging for a title next year.
Next on our list, ang paborito ni Santino Honasan, Donnie Ahas Nietes. Ito nga si Donnie will figure in a WBA Super Flyweight title eliminator on December 11 against Norberto Jimenez. Santino, do you still believe that Donnie Nietes has enough left in his gas tank to have another world title run?
I can't root against Donnie Nietes. I'll probably be rooting for Donnie Nietes until he says it's time for him to retire. I mean, how can you not love the guy? I I also had the pleasure of being able to cover him during his time with Alaboxing, during his peak sa flyweight, no? Tsaka sa junior flyweight. It was always just a masterclass for Donnie Nietes. Doon sa last fight niya, yung recent win niya against si Pablo Carrillo back in April, napakita niya na he can still compete at a high level. And once again, Donnie Nietes, even at this stage in his career, is at the apex of the division, competing for a chance at the World Championship. I have no doubts that he can once again become a top guy in Philippine boxing.
May kamandag pa, no?
Oo naman.
Last but certainly not the least on our list is Marlon Tapales. Tapales returns to action on December 11, December 12 dito po sa Pilipinas against Japan's Hiroaki Teshigawara. Santino, if he loses to the Japanese boxer, do you think it will be difficult for him to get back into a position where he can vie for the title again? Alam mo naman, pumasok tong si Marlon Tapales in several, in a tribulation. He lost his first world title on the weighing scale. Tapos, lumaban siya for an interim title. Hindi siya pinalad sa laban ngayon. Ngayon, he's back na on a position. Do you think kung matalo siya dito, he could be relegated to a gatekeeping role?
It's possible. He's although medyo impressive naman ang record niya, 140, 13 of his last 14. Yung last loss niya came just 2 fights ago. Yun nga, yung nabanggit mong interim IBF Super Bantamweight Championship against another Japanese fighter in Ryusuke Isawa. If he loses this fight, it's possible that he gets bumped down a bit. Currently ranked number 4 sa IBF, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he loses too much momentum kasi we've seen this in a current Filipino champion and John Riel Casimero, who after becoming a world champion many years ago, medyo nagkaroon siya ng slump, found himself losing to the guys like Jonas Sultan. And then he just, he was able to rally back. He was able to reinvent himself. He was able to, kumbaga, rejuvenate his career. And now he's one of the 5 or 6 Filipino world champions in boxing that we have today. So if Marlon Tapales loses against Teshigawara, definitely ma-pull back yung momentum niya. But I can't say that he'll be relegated into a gatekeeper role.